Well, I pushed the button. Well, hey, everyone. It's Scoutmaster Bucky's Nothing But a T-shirt, I think. Welcome to the Campfire Chat. And keep in mind that not only marshmallows get roasted, leaders do too. So we're going to have some fun, and I want everyone to type in a question. We take all kinds of questions. Please don't go political or anything, and don't be commercial. Okay. Try to be evergreen. Try to be scout-like in your questions. Of course, we have Mike. He's our moderator. Mikey.
Moderator.
Yeah, that guy. He takes care of you guys in the chat room. Now you got to behave. Okay. He'll hit the button on you. And of course, we have Scoutmaster Bucky down there. Yeah, he's right down there. Yeah, all right. And then we have, of course, way over the other corner, we have our expert in Cub Scouting, and that's the roaming scouter. And that's Matthew. He's going to be answering those kind of questions. Well, we can all kind of relate. We're all been in Cub Scout. We've all been in Scouts. Scouting is one of those wonderful things that we do. And season 14, if you've been on the channel lately, you've been seeing a lot of ketchup going on. Where's my ketchup packet? I put this out here to remind me. Yes, we've been doing Heinz 57 lately. So those days are over. We're in production, and we're going to be going right into season 14. We just hit the 8,000 subscriber mark. And
yeah,
continuously, so grateful for all of your I guess your dedication to the channel and believing in us, and keep coming in. Of course, Bucky and of course Matthew, they both of them have channels, and you should subscribe to them. Okay, subscriptions cost nothing, but they mean the world to us. So please do that. It looks like we have a bunch of people. Do we have any shout outs or call outs or any of that going on, Matt or Mike?
First thing I'll say, please give the show a thumbs up. That will cause YouTube to promote it to more people, and more people can join the conversation. Super chat from King King. Remember, next Sunday is Scout Sunday. Remember to wear your Scout uniform to church.
Yeah. Was Pin King a part of our pre-production? I think we're going to be hitting on that. So
yes, we were.
Our telepathy is working tonight.
It is.
Yes.
You know, it's amazing how scout leaders think.
Yeah.
We're all volunteers, but we're kind of on that same wavelength, which is so cool. So cool. In fact, there are two big dates in February. February is often called Scout Month. And because of that, a lot of packs are getting ready for the blue and gold. And I believe Matthew and I were talking about he's getting ready for his big blue and gold. Looks like we have another.
Oh, well, keep going. I was just going to pull up some shout outs.
Okay.
Hello, ScouterStan from New Philadelphia. Okay.
Awesome.
I interrupt you. Keep going.
From the Bucky Council.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
From the Bucky Council.
Yeah. That would be a scary thought.
Wouldn't it? Oh,
would it though?
No, well,
We could run it on crypto.
Yeah.
Inside joke. Watch one of Matt's latest videos, and you'll get the inside joke there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get a bucket.
Now, there's a lot of that's going on now. Matthew, you're putting together a blue and gold. Is it going to be a potluck or catered?
Actually,
What's
it's going to
the
be
deal
catered.
gonna be?
Can you hear me? Yeah, it's going to be catered. So
Oh.
I'm excited about that because we always have people bring stuff for the potluck and everything like that. But we decided that this year to set aside some of the budgeting stuff to have it catered. I can't remember who's catering it. And honestly, I can't remember what it is. But because I was more worried about the crossover ceremony itself. So we're going to have the blue and gold in the beginning, and we're trying to time it around sunset, and we're going to have the bridge out over the bay where I sit at, so because there's water out there, and the idea is right as the sun is setting, that's when we're going to have the AOLs cross over.
Wow.
And so one of the parents, because they saw them on sale, bought a bunch of the like tiki torches. So we're going to line the path from the place that we're doing it down to the water, and the kids will be able to cross over at sunset, weather permitting out here. And if the parking lot is cleared in time, because it's a sheet of ice right now, but that's the ideal. That's the vision for them to be able to cross over at that time. So I don't know the menu, but I do know that we're going to attempt to make that happen at sunset this Sunday.
Neat. There's so many really cool crossovers out there. I like the ones that include the parents. The parents get to cross over too, because they're going from the back to the troop. So that's something. I don't know if your bridge is able to do that, but
Matt, as you described it, I'm thinking of Survivor and the
exactly.
torches, and the pack.
You can have their names on the torch, and you can.
Yeah. The pack has spoken. You're no longer a part of the pack.
You can do that. I've seen ones where in Florida it's usually warm year round, but not right now. They were having a cold snap, but not the ice that you're going through. But it is amazing to me, all the different kinds of crossovers. I saw one where they took Christmas tree lights that were all red, and they twinkled individually, and they put bubble wrap over it, and then they put plexiglass over that. It was the plastic clear stuff they put over, and it was a fire pit, and they all had to take their shoes off and cross over the coals. That was a neat crossover. And then I've been to one where they did flaming arrows. They had the fire department actually come out and help the Cub Scouts shoot flaming arrows into a retention pond. So it was
nice.
It was really cool. So some of those are very special, and it's something that the Cub Scout will always remember. So making that ceremony special is important.
I think it's not always the glitz and glare. It's
True.
Making it a experience to be remembered. It's a culmination of all the Cub Scout experiences and the beginning of a new path,
right?
For that scout and that family. And I love your idea, because I think we forget that it is a huge change for parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even though, and we were talking pre-production, now Matt's crossing over from an AOL scout leader to a coffee drinking troop leader or parent. And I think that's one of the biggest shocks. I know I'm probably jumping ahead on our topic here, but
good segue.
That's one of the biggest shocks to adult leaders.
Yes, it is.
Cub Scouts. And as I explain it to my parents and families that cross over, Cub Scouting is 90% led by the scout leaders and 10% giving scouts, in certain cases, leadership in a very cautious sort of way.
Right.
We risk every crossover of Lord of the Flies at the troop level by saying it's 90% youth led.
Yeah.
I have my personal opinions about 100% youth led.
Right.
That's probably a topic for a different night, because
I got a video on that.
Do you? I haven't seen that one. You know, good. We should include a link to it for after the show, because I think
put a card out there. Yeah,
I'll tangent for just a moment. I think we get wrapped up in 100% youth led, but no 14-year-old can drive to the store to get the camping supplies.
Yeah.
You know, no 14-year-old can ensure that they'll pull the trailer,
right, and have the right hookups.
You know, there's still a reliance on adult leadership, and so when I hear people, oh, we're 100% scout led, that's a red flag to me, because they can't be 100%. And I usually err on the side that this is an inexperienced scout leader or scout parent, much like those that I hear say, oh, I'm a servant leader. Well, servant leaders don't need to announce themselves. And, you know, but I
don't even know they're leaders, the real servant leaders.
You know, I'm on Wood Badge staff. I'm a servant leader. Well, guess what? They made a poor choice, because servant leadership isn't something you need to announce and let people know. You just do it. And so the same thing, back to my original tangent, was 100% youth led is never a realistic, but a 90-10, where 90% of it, the 10% is all mentoring and getting the kids the ability, moving the overzealous adults out of the way so that they can build their leadership skills.
Well, you put a really neat analogy of Snoopy.
Okay.
You were saying that Snoopy is in the front in a Cub Scout pack. He's the one leading all the little woodchucks behind him. And then, of course, when they go across that bridge, now the woodchucks are in front and Snoopy's in the back. So that's the thing. Woodstock.
I talked about that in one of my earliest videos about the most common questions that parents ask in scouting. And that's one of them, is that, like, what is one of the elevator pitch differences between Cub Scouts and Scouts BSA, and it's where the leader stands. It's like in Cub Scouts, I'm, worrying about programs and planning and doing all this and seeing if things are going to be catered and, buying tiki torches. in the troop, I'm just sitting, hey, what do you guys want to do? Okay. Have you considered this? Have you considered that? You guys want to do Dutch oven cobbler at the top of the hill after we've walked 6 miles? That means you got to drag that thing up there. Okay. You guys can drag that. That's fine.
And then you mumble under your breath, this will be the last time they do it, and I won't have to say a thing.
Exactly. 100%.
That happens all the time. It seems that
better
plans, right?
And I got one more thing for it, because it's funny that we say that is because the whole idea of scout led also is very interesting and scary for the scouts, because the first time when you look at them and you go, I don't know, what do you want to do? And that's when it becomes realistic. Couple weekends ago, I took my AOLs out to a winter camp out. I wanted them to get frost points, and we got the frost points. We got some hail. We got everything. It wasn't like it is right now, but they got cold and everything. And I said, hey, here's your guys' itinerary. And they've had 2 months. They started in November planning it and everything that they wanted to do. And then I handed it to them. And there was a good couple of times where they're like, well, I thought we were supposed to do a scavenger hunt. Cool. Which one of you was responsible for the scavenger hunt? And then, or my favorite was, hey, you guys need to start getting breakfast ready between 6 and 7 o'clock. And then they laughed at that. Between 6 and 7 o'clock. So that way your breakfast is being served at 7 o'clock. Guess whose tent they were outside at 6:27 yelling at to wake up, because they needed to know why we weren't cooking yet. And I just rolled out. I just threw my son out there and I said, go lead. You were the dinner for this exercise.
There you go.
It's like, now we had a parent out there to observe and make sure that they didn't do it. But that was the first time where they're like, it took forever for breakfast. And they're like, this took so long. I'm like, Well, you guys wanted pancakes, sausage, bacon, scrambled eggs. And you guys, we only have 2 burners and you wanted to cook everything on this. And I got to look at them and say, hey, could you guys have done muffins? Could you have just done bacon and eggs and only on the 2 things?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'll edit that. So it was funny because that was the first time they're like, oh, this is what we wanted. And the parents were sitting there and they were dying laughing because the kids are eating eggshells. It's like, who got eggs in there? Well, you made them. Oh yeah, I did.
Right. Hey, there's a lot.
Eggshells are good for you. Lots of calcium.
There's a lot of good comments coming through.
Right. Let's do some shout outs here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hail from Troop 66 in Garden City, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Woo, woo.
Big Red Bus, another frequent the live show. Good evening all. Hope you're staying warm from Northeast Georgia.
It's cold down here.
That's a relative term.
76. My son was presented his second religious emblem.
That's interesting. I didn't know that was possible.
You didn't?
You can get it as an adult and as a youth. You can get both.
Yeah, but I took his comment as that like you can get you're getting a second one as a youth. So
yes,
yeah,
so
you can if you get it in Cub
ranges.
Scouts. You have Cub Scouts, and then you have like a troop situation, and then you can go and crew.
Insert some of my valid knowledge.
Oh.
So there's different programs for the different faiths. Now, the most noted one is the Catholic faith, because my understanding is that Scouting America has a little bit of vested interest in the Catholic one. And there's 4 programs that you can earn, 2 as a Cub Scout, 2 as a Scout BSA, sorry.
Yeah, in a troop, yeah.
Yes, and so you've got Light of Christ, which is the youngest, and then Parvuli Day is the older Cub Scout age. And there's windows of age group. And then Adultary Day is for the younger Scout. Well, it's for any Scout age, but it's geared more towards the younger Scouts BSA. And then Pope Pius. And that is definitely geared for older teenage kids. Now, many of the... And each one of them have their own little medal that Scout earns. So there's a 4-step in that. Many of the Christian-based faiths follow a program called Pray. And it's been a while since I've done that. I had a group, we were doing some religious weekends. So there is 5 levels now to that. It used to be 4. They've added a 5th level. I believe the first one that they've added is Jesus and Me, which is for kindergarten and first grade. Then my memory is lacking, but it's like God and Country, God and Me, God and Life. So there's 4 others that are age appropriate, and there's little medals that go along with it. Now, it is not run by Scouting America. It's an outside organization. Much like the Jewish faith has their own process, the Muslim faith has their own set and structure. And the Scouting has been very open since one of our 12 values is reverence to accepting these programs as recognizable and uniform wear authorized recognitions. Each of the faiths also, and this is where the more diversity comes about, have levels of adult recognitions. The key on the adult recognitions is you don't seek them out. And I would really discourage anyone that runs into somebody that's, I'm trying to get the adult religious award.
Well, it depends on the faith too. Some are awarded and some are achieved.
Correct.
So it depends on the faith.
Yep. And there's different levels. For instance, the Catholic has the Bronze Pelican, which is kind of a general acknowledgement of somebody's taken the time to nominate you, and the board has decided, you're serving Catholic scouting. Now, a lot of people think you have to be Catholic to get the award. You just have to be serving Catholic scouts.
Exactly.
And then the St. George Award is really for a significant period of time. The Pray program has a couple different levels. They've got a counselor pin for each of the levels and a mentor pin, I believe it is, for recognitions. But then the individual faiths, whether it be Lutheran or whether it be Methodist or whether it be Baptist, while they all may use the Pray program for the youth programming and have little acknowledgement lapel pins, they have their own set. I believe like Lutheran is Lamb of God is their high-end one. I don't know if they have like a lower one. So there's a lot to it. And most councils should have, if not a paid staff member, at least a volunteer group. There should be a religious emblems
coordinator
or a coordinator for the council. And I'm sure they would love to talk to anybody that reaches out to them, because it's one of those positions that oftentimes doesn't get utilized as much as it could or should.
Yeah.
And for people crossing over and looking for a place, this is a great place to start. And on a personal level, I'll say, I think that's one of the things our scouting program is lacking, is our refocus on reverence being just as important as kind, just as important as loyal and thrifty. I think we need to realize that our organization allows and encourages reverence to be a part of the program. So
duty to God.
Duty to God. Absolutely.
In the oath.
So I hope that helped somebody out there.
Definitely helped me, because I didn't know
a video
that
I need to put together. The video, been sitting on it for some time. It was at the national meeting. I met with somebody from Pray that actually went through a lot of that, and then I need to put that video together. So
it'll be your highest watched video.
I hope so. Right now it's red jackets.
It's okay.
Nice.
Go figure, right?
That one went viral. That was interesting. Like that
was a fun one though.
But speaking of red jackets, you've got something to add, right? ScouterStan?
I do. I wanted to thank all of the people that have subscribed to the channel. We just hit 8,000. That's a huge landmark for 8,000 subscribers. I've always thought that if we get to 10, that'll be lucky. That'll be time to go. Better leave on top, right? But I tell you, it's really getting a lot of people are very. I'm very grateful. Okay, and a lot of people are very excited about the channel's new season 14. We're in production. I still have to do a bunch of editing, so I'm really tight on my deadlines right now. So, but 14 is getting started in February. So, the first big one will be supposed to be up by the 4th. I hope. Right now it's about 5 days behind. So. Hopefully we can get that going.
I always look forward to your new stuff, just like Matt's. And if you don't mind, I know it's your channel, Stan, but I'm kind of curious what you got coming up for stuff, Matt.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah,
I've got some, no, that's fine. I've got some. I was talking about in the pre-show. I've got a video, ironically, talking about. Because I'm crossing over from an AOL den leader into being just a dad for a little while I'm in the troop, because I doesn't want to just show up and jump right into a role. I want to sit back and relax for a little bit. Talking about what I wish I knew as a brand new scouting leader when I started this journey in 2020. Also talking about President's Day and where people can go for that. And then a couple of other videos about like the psychology of scouting, like what are we actually doing mentally to kids, things that talk about, like I always talk about resetting our baselines. Like I took the scouts out, like I was talking a minute ago, out to be cold, to earn their frost points. So that way they get their, what I call baseline readjusted, because all of a sudden when they're sitting inside their house and it's 70 degrees, that just feels amazing, because now they've been out where it's 30 degrees and they've had to sleep in a tent and they've had to rely on their, wool and their wool socks and everything. It readjusts their baseline. And then another one about tactics that are taught at Ivy League schools that are also taught in scouting.
Okay.
So that one, there's a little course that some of you might have heard about. It's called Wood Badge, and there are actual Fortune 500 strategies and techniques that are taught in there. And I don't think that people understand that's where they come from. So that's a little peek into February. What I have planned out is trying to really get people to understand the benefit of scouting and understand the benefit of like Wood Badge. And let's not just sitting around singing and people wondering what critter you have and, getting into turf wars about it. It's about that you actually can learn these skills that you can apply in your normal life as well, as long as you go in there with the right mentality. Because if you go in there and you're like, I'm just going to learn to sing and I'm going to get my ticket and make it as easy as possible, I'm not going to learn anything, you're in the wrong mindset. And then you don't get the benefit from it. So that's what I've got coming up, hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Well, I've enjoyed.
You sound busy.
Yeah.
And,
I've enjoyed Stan's Heinz 57 stuff, and I think if you haven't checked it out,
are you done with Heinz 57?
Yeah.
There we go.
I do. I think I love the creativity of it. I mean, get caught up or catch up. On
catch up, so you can catch up. That's what it is.
And those were awesome, Matt. Your latest one, all biased aside, because of the inclusion of the Bucky Buck.
The Bucky Buck.
Your humor was at its highest point that I've seen in any of your videos and stuff, and your creative wit was just showcased in that. And I thought that was fabulous. And
your videos are awesome. I like them.
They are.
I'm trying.
Good. They're very good, and they're just getting better and better. It's just
makes me wonder if I should even do any, because
no, go ahead. So high, but don't you have a merit badge thing you're working on?
Well, yeah, so,
or is that top secret?
no, and I shared this in we've talked about it in my love for music and my discovery of learning AI and how it can be a tool as opposed to a crutch. Not just, I mean, it gives me a lot of creativity tools to work with, and I've gone back. I dug out. They're behind me here. I dug out old cassette tapes from the 1980s when I was in high school of playing the piano and singing. And I've been able to pull those into AI and clean them up where they sound like they were done today. And these were recorded on a boombox. Okay, go. And I start pounding on the piano and stuff. And since midsummer, I've been inspired to use writing music as an outlet again. It's something I got away from for a number of decades. Yeah. And wrote some fun, we've shared a few of them, some fun songs and such here. And I got into a Christmas kick, but behind the scenes, I've been working on a challenge of writing a song for every merit badge.
Wow.
That's out there. And so I talked to my wife, and I said, I finally figured out how I can present those. Because she's like, you spend a lot of time writing music and stuff. What are you doing it for? And I said, it'll come to me. And so I have made the commitment that every Monday I will release a new, basically call it a karaoke or lyric video.
Neat.
With the song. And she says, I should go alphabetically from the top of the alphabet on down of the merit badges, despite having, music merit badge already written. That'll be later this year that one gets released. So
the very first one's going to be archaeology.
Nope. First one was released 2 weeks ago and is American Business.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you, the fun for me is going, okay, I could write every song to be an 80s rock song, or I could write every song to be a country song. My challenge is I want to incorporate different styles, so you're not getting the same, it's another country song. So I'm trying to figure out and challenge myself to use different styles of music, because I have that ability with AI to change tempos and change styles, and you could do that in the studio, but in the old days, but it was expensive to do that. And so my first one was American Business, and I'm like, what's really American besides?
It should be like American Pie, like the Don McLean.
Yeah. So you've got folk, and you've got country.
You can do it like that,
But I went with blues for the business. Being a business owner myself, it's like, so it's called the Business Badge Blues, and kind of sings about American business and sings about the ups and downs. And what I'm trying to do is tie terminology from the merit badge, sometimes directly saying, hey, this is about the merit badge, and others inferring it. And then American Cultures was released last Monday. And that one I went with kind of a world fusion reggae sort of sound.
There you go.
And tomorrow we have American Heritage, and that's a good old American, country song and such. And then that'll be followed by a very respectful, we talked about it last month, change from Indian Lower to American Indian Culture. That comes next. And that one I took a lot of time, because the subject matter is sensitive if you misrepresent things. And I don't want to get political to, promote. I want to be respectful and such. That one I'm excited for, and then we'll get American Labor. That one's a little more gritty.
Yeah.
Animal Science is like an old MacDonald Farmer in the Dell song. It's like, how do you do an animal song? And knowing that I got mammal study coming up and such.
It's true. You got to save it.
So I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a good way for me to get away for a few hours, even though I'm in front of a computer. My creative stuff. So each Monday, check out my channel. There's a new merit badge song coming, and
let me know when you have one that's Zydeco. Okay, Zydeco, I'm all there.
What is Zydeco?
Zydeco, buckwheat Zydeco. I'm sure there's people who know what that is.
Are you talking like a scat sort of thing?
No, this is no. It's like New Orleans area. There's a lot of
Cajun sound.
Cajun,
Okay,
very Cajun.
Because I was going to say, I actually wrote a song. I have about 24 scouting songs not related to merit badge, and I have two different ones. One is a scat about scat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Dig a little hole.
I think I call it Nature's Calling.
A little dance. I think I've heard that one.
So I'm having fun with it, and I hope others can find fun with it. Some of the viewers here heard in some previous episodes, and I think the "Don't Worry, Be Campy." Somebody used that.
That's funny. I like it.
So,
awesome.
And we don't
you need to come out with a CD or an album of all your scout stuff. Not just the merit badges, but everything.
Well, we'll put it on the YouTube channel, because I'm told CDs are like saying, I have a Hotmail account.
I have a vinyl record.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the 8-track.
Yeah. There you go.
Is that Betamax?
No, Laserdisc.
Just the giant ones.
Laser.
Next on Nova.
Right. Hey, we have
my
really
God.
digressed from the topic of Scout Month.
Mike, you gotta save us, Mike.
We're right down into pop
Give us a
culture references.
Yeah.
I was,
Fortunately,
what I was-
the demographic of the audience is probably catching on and hopefully chuckling along with us.
oh, I sure hope so.
No, yeah, but
It's like the comment section has gone real quiet. So
well, they can't type and laugh at the same
Yeah.
time. That's the thing.
yeah.
but
You're
what I was trying to talk about earlier was like, Stan, you have a shout out for a Cub Scout pack, right? Because you were saying red jacket, and that reminded me of the red vest. So I'm going to turn it over to you because I think that's
tell you
really
what,
cool.
this is something else. I got an email asking if I would talk about something that they've put together. The Cub Scouts want the world record of having the most patches on one of those little red jackets. Well, I'm thinking that's not going to work. So they actually made a jacket. Here you
Look
go.
at that.
Sweet.
That is a red jacket, one of those little vests that you put patches on.
Yeah.
That's a red jacket. So they want patches. They need about 2,000 patches to cover this thing. And I made it worse. I'm sorry. I recommended that they not only put them on the outside, but they could put them on the inside too. So
Genius.
Go hog wild. Be two-sided. You can actually turn those jackets inside out, wear both sides. So yeah, it should be 2,000. And they came up with this flyer. Let me see if I got it here. The flyer here, if you're going to have to freeze frame and zoom in on it, but there's an address there that actually has the address that they need patches. Now, they'll take any patch. If you've got something that's Order the Arrow, or council or district camporees, they'll take any kind of patch. They want to put that in the world record vest.
I'm guessing the smaller, the better.
Yes, that way they can squeeze even more patches on there. Now, there's another thing. You can actually double layer patches. You can put, you just sew the tops so that they're like flip up.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things you can do with these patches. So they definitely can make the world record. And definitely, I told them I'd put the flyer up on the live show.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can get a bunch of patches. They just need them mailed. It's a place in Texas. Most of the time you can just put them in an envelope and mail them. Just regular postage. So don't send it postage too. That's not good. That's not it's not very scout-like to be unkind. Okay.
I have some legitimate questions and some questions that I know the answer to, but I feel like some of our viewers may not know.
What's that?
Well, first off, the patches, this is national that's doing this, correct? Or is this
this is a Cub Scout pack.
In Texas,
I believe it says on the flyer.
That's very cool. I think we should get them on the show.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
I was in it was a world record for the longest continuous knotted rope. There were 3-foot lengths, and each one of them was going to be tied together with square knots. You had 10 minutes.
Yep.
And wherever the granny knot that's where it ended or began.
Okay.
And whatever the longest length of rope you had, we ended up with 4 miles.
Wow.
So we did that in 10
impressive.
minutes.
Yeah.
It took every scout at the camporee. They all had to go through the process of being certified that they could actually tie a square knot. And they were all given like 8 or 10 knots that they had to tie these ropes together. And it was just one continuous tied rope at the end.
That's cool.
And we had the Guinness people come out, and they got the little measuring wheelie thing. And it was cool. It was really neat to see all of that happen.
Our council post-pandemic, I believe it was. I think it was done by a unit. I don't know the details. I know it got advertised through our council. And everybody thinks Minnesota is, yes, I said Minnesota.
Minnesota.
That, it's always cold here. And we like the Florida folks to think that. So it keeps them down in Florida, right?
That's true. Of course, then you send us like, what is it, 20 degrees tonight here in Orlando.
Yeah, and we're just laughing, going, whatever. Let me get my
that's a summer day to you.
Right. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, they were doing a Hot Wheels track, running a Hot Wheels car down a Hot Wheels track. And they did it on the border of Minnesota and Wisconsin in a town called Stillwater that had this bridge that was perfect for it, except the day that it took place, we had unprecedented heat wave of 90 plus degrees. And so the plastic track did not stay as straight and became a little and needless to say, it didn't pan out very well. I was hoping that we would see a reattempt at it. I thought it was really cool. I think it could have been better promoted, but I'm sure with the weather, they're probably happy it didn't get promoted more. But I thought that was fun. I think it's cool when people can come up with a unique way to promote scouting in a fun. Who can argue about a red vest? And trying to get a bunch of patches on it. It's just a fun, quirky.
That's a lot of sewing.
Yeah. But that's scouting. Yeah. That's what traditional scouting is.
Can you imagine that's going to have patches from all over the world, all over the country, all over it. So.
Absolutely. And I'm going to slip them an extra $2 bill to see if they can't put a Bucky patch right in the front there.
Yeah, I feel like we got to get that flyer out to like All About Scouts and like over to Mark and all of that, and just like see how
put it in the show description, a link to it. It's a PNG, so
okay. Yeah, if you can link that into the stuff below, I mean, I'll grab that and I'll promote it locally here. And
well, you guys, I'm going to send you the emails.
Okay.
Oh, good. It makes me wish I had patches to send.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know if you have the ability of sending notifications to viewers and stuff, but I'm seeing a few people saying, "Hey, shoot it my way in here."
Yeah. So I will definitely try to get. I got your guys' contact, so I know that one. But as far as the actual, when this goes on to the channel and the description, I'll put the link there so that you can actually download it and get the address and stuff. So definitely send them some patches,
or send a postal mail to ScouterStan 1122 Boogie Boogie Avenue.
No,
somewhere Florida.
Don't send it to me. I don't want to pay the postage to forward that. So just send it directly to them. They need to get the patches. They did not specify a deadline. They didn't.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about as a deadline.
So I think it's going to go on for a period of time. They already have the vest, so they're starting to put on what they have.
Sure,
but they need more. They need more.
Yeah. Smaller the better.
That's a big vest. Did you see that thing? How many tables was that on? That was amazing.
Yeah.
So,
apparently it's just one pin king, because he says he could fit into it. So
there you go.
Want to get to some audience stuff?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Pin King commented that they had to cancel their weekend activities because of the bitter cold.
Oof. You don't want your scouts to have medical problems, but cold, a lot of Floridians would have problems with 20-degree weather, but as everybody else here knows, it's pretty common. It's called, what is that? The weatherman calls it winter. So go figure. But that's what it's the temperature. I've been on campouts that rained and were cold, and I've even had sleet and all that other stuff. So I slept in an igloo when I was a kid. So it's winter camping is actually an adventure. And the strange thing is the scouts remember those much more than the nice, comfy summer camp that they went to.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So it's a major
I got
thing.
it.
You know?
I got a story about that. It's like like no joke. I remember I went obviously camping a lot when I was a scout. But the ones that were like that were the ones that always stick out in my memory because I grew up in Southern California. So, you know, like if it's 60, I'm putting on a sweatshirt because that's just who I am as a person. I grew up in the 110s, 120s. Like I am a desert dweller. So there we go out to Mount San Jacinto, and you guys can look this up on the internet. And we went up the gondola. So you go up the gondolas up in the desert. And it's the early 2000s, late 90s, and we forgot to check the weather. So we get up there and there's snow on the ground, which is fine because like we knew we were going to be a little cold. That's the whole idea. And we go up and we set up camp. And you have to walk like, I forgot how far it was, like 5 miles. It was single digits. It wasn't double. And we set up camp and we're all like 13, 14 years old. We're throwing snowballs at each other. Everybody's having a good time. We cook dinner and we go to bed. And that's when the blizzard came in. And next thing you know, it's 7 teenagers all in one tent. And we are all like huddled in a 4-man tent trying to keep warm. And at the next day, we got the radio notification saying that that there was another blizzard coming in and we needed to get out. So we like, no joke, had to like abandon gear and like a tent and we had to go back and get it like a couple of weeks later, you know, and like not be those people. But we're walking out and my scoutmaster, he had purchased one of those Arctic suits, like the ones that you actually wear in Antarctica. And he is sweating and dying inside of it because like for us, like we're all cold, like frostbite setting in, like, you know, like we're all on the verge of hypothermia, but he's having almost a heat stroke inside of this suit. Wow. And like his type 2 diabetes is flaring up. So our assistant scoutmaster's got his pack and the scoutmaster's pack on, and we're trying to walk out of this, like trying to walk back to the to where the gondolas are that go down. And the problem is that like we get there, it's snowing, we can't see, we can barely see the trail. We finally get to the end, and the end is just probably only like a half mile, but it's just zigzags back up it, you know, back and forth, and it's concrete. And there are kids that their parents have brought them up, and now they're out there and they're having fun and they're throwing snowballs and they're all excited. And we're like, we're miserable. But it's like we get in and we're just inside the terminals that take us back down the hill on the other side. And I just I just always have this very vivid memory of that camp out. Like, but not a lot of the other ones, just because of like how cold I was, how miserable I was, how like much of a bad experience that it was. Not a bad, but you know, like how much of an uncomfortable experience that it was. Exactly. And I told my scouts this story. I said, this is why I want you guys to be out here. And the next time that you have a winter camp out, it's not your first time that you're cold. It's not the first time that you're trying to remember, oh yeah, that's right, I need to put wool socks on, and my Van shoes aren't going to cut it out here in the snow. I need to put on actual boots, or I need to put on layers to where I'm a little chilly, but not so warm where I'm sweating. Like teaching you guys this stuff right now is very important. So yeah, 100%. As you can see, I'm very traumatized by it.
I think it made you a better man.
It definitely did, because now I'm taking a jacket everywhere. Like it's just like
and that's interesting that you say that, because we see it across the U.S. In the fact that teenagers going to school, I'm watching kids in 30-degree. Granted, we're Minnesotans. We can handle 30-degree weather, but we still use common sense. But the teenagers standing at the bus stop in shorts and a t-shirt because they want to be comfortable in school.
Right. Which is all temperature controlled. So it makes sense there.
But what happens if, and I was at our church, we have a school that's connected where we meet. And I was shocked at the fact that on Saturday, I'm seeing all these elementary school kids' jackets hanging in the school. And I'm going to look into it, but my deduction is that the school has foreseen the fact that kids don't always come. So it appears like they've mandated that they have a jacket that's left at school, because
interesting.
If there were a fire drill or we're going outside to do this learning lesson, you're not stopped by having to spend time. Do you have proper clothing for the appropriate weather conditions?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think scouting.
Okay, I can tell you what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Kids forget their jacket at school. With my kids in elementary school,
they don't want to be uncool wearing their jacket.
We kept buying them sweatshirts, and then at conference time, we checked their cubbies, and each of them had like an unimaginable number of sweatshirts in their cubby.
If I were a parent, I'd be wrapping those up as Christmas gifts, because they've obviously forgotten about them.
Yeah.
I can re-gift them their own stuff, but that really derails the concept. I want to put a myth about northern tier people. I'm not talking about scouting's northern tier, but us northerners that deal with the weather like this. It sucks when the season changes, and we enjoy beautiful summertime weather here of 70s and 80s, and when fall comes and we're starting to see 40s and 30s, it's just as cold and miserable anywhere you are. But one thing that us northerners do is it keeps getting lower. 2 weeks ago, we're dealing with minus 20 degree temperatures and unheard of wind chills. And you know what? You can't stop life because of it, but you change the way you approach things and stuff. And believe it or not, after a week or two of that, 30 degrees feels like that 80 in the summer, you know. It has, concerns and stuff, but we get used to it because of the exposure to it. And we're geared up for that. We have our winter gear, and it's amazing in the fall when you have an 80-degree day and you're seeing people down at the lake in summer gear, and the next day we have an extreme temperature drop and we look like the northern Minnesotans that we are in our winter gear. We can switch on a dime like that.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we get overlooked because you're used to that. Well, you do get used to it.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff that you were talking about, Matt, the ice on the road is crazy. And there's nothing you can do about that. You're at the mercy of nature, even up here. You can plow the streets, but you don't get it all,
Yeah.
And
it's weather that can be very important lesson for youth. It's important that in scouting we need to teach those lessons, have those opportunities for learning. We can't just keep continuously sprouting them away from every inclement weather detail. We need to put them out there. As well as I do, you start off the hike, it's always raining, and by the time halfway through the hike, it's beautiful. It's great. Everything's dry. It's great. So it's just one of those things. It's a life lesson. We need to be there for that. It's important to understand when you cancel things, you're taking away those opportunities. You have to be serious about not just willy-nilly just canceling it because you think it's going to be cold. It might be an actual, it could be an ice storm or something that we're unaware of. So that could be could be the reason. For safety reasons, that's why they canceled it. So that might
100%.
That might be it. But we need to take those opportunities. Give them to young people so that they can actually have those great members like Matthew had, and and I've had the same thing. And it is just absolutely important. There's a lot of parents out there that I was watching a thing on YouTube about soft parenting, and how they hide behind, oh, I want to be safe, I want to be this, I never want to expose them to a possible conflict, or I don't want her to be subject to something that she'd have to deal with, and they just go on and on. It is annoying, but it's parents that are like that want to get away from it, and that's what scouting gives them, that opportunity. These weather opportunities are a great example. Yeah, and that's true throughout all of scouting.
I think Matt had something to add, but I want to just comment because we've gotten away from it. The Lenthal and Big Red Bus, you guys are cracking me up. So even though we may not look like we're addressing the comments as quickly as they come in, I'm watching them.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are watching it. I mean, teenagers, common sense. Please explain that one, right? I love that. And the Lenthal's comment of, the weather stuff is very safety related, and I think I'm going on a little more before giving it back to Matt here, but I think this weather, especially in areas that aren't used to it, this is a great opportunity to make that a topic of learning for scouts and families, and to broaden the impact of what we can bring. And if you don't know, call Mike. Moderator Mike, he's grown up in the North, and he can tell you all about winter. He'll be a great guide for you.
I grew up in the North too.
Did you? Where did you grow up?
Michigan, New York, Massachusetts.
Wait,
Chicago.
Were you a military brat?
No, my father was a professional scouter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know a little on the inside.
Okay. So sorry, Matt, you were going to say something, and I've 3 times now tried to pull it over back to you, and I bet you forgot what you were going to say.
Nope, I don't. I've got a list of things, because we go in and out of topics, and there's points I can provide, but then eventually the topic moves on. So it's oh well. And one of them was about the safety concern and how you want to teach, especially with Cub Scouts, up to a certain point, but not to where they're just absolutely miserable and then you scare them away. Because my camp out where I said that the scouts were yelling at 6:27 outside my tent, like, Mr. Matt, what are we going to do for breakfast? And I said, you're the ones who are responsible for cooking breakfast. We did that cold night. It was cold, and then it had hail on us. But then we found out in the next morning, it was going to be right above freezing, and it was going to dump rain, and then it was going to get cold again. So I told the parents, afterwards, after the kids got lost during the orienteering course, and we got them back on track, which that's a different story. But I told the parents, I said, hey, we have rain coming tomorrow morning. After the campfire, we have no program in the morning. There's no breakfast to be cooked. Everything will be put away. The only thing extra that they will get tonight is just being cold and miserable for an additional night. And then you guys have to take down your tents in the rain near freezing. And I think that is a hypothermic risk that I don't necessarily want to have you guys take unless we're all in agreement that we all want to do it. Because if one of us leaves, I think we all have to leave. And one of my scouts, she was laying down, and I looked at her dad and said, what's up with what's going on with her? And apparently she had some irritable bowel going on. And then she was a trooper. She made it home before she projectile vomited all over the front lawn. So I offered it up to the group, and we made a decision to break away. But there were some parents who said, well, I thought the idea was to make them, cold and all that. And I said, yes, they have that. But now we're talking about the safety concern here. It's if it was just normal snow, I wouldn't mind. But the fact that things are it's going to be rain, and then it's going to drop that, you guys don't want to deal with that, I just offered it up to them. And maybe some of the parents thought that I was being a little too weak with the kids on that one, but I felt like it was the right call to make. So there definitely is a line, and you're not going to win over everybody, scouting leaders out there. You just have to do what's best for your scouts and with the information that you have. So,
and it should be age appropriate too. You're dealing with Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
Okay. A troop is different. You always think of your newest scout that's joined. Okay. That's who, if he's on that camp out and he's frozen, the rest of them are hiding it better than they are. So that's a
I was listening to that and I was thinking, oh no, he's going to talk about how they muscled through and that was the right choice. And I'm thinking, I have on 4 occasions packed up after the week-long scout camp on Friday night. We usually leave on Saturday because of rain. It's like we can pack up dry Friday evening and leave after the closing campfire because there's no programming. It's just sleeping. Yep. Let's just get out of here, get home. Everybody's going to look forward to a real hot shower and I shouldn't say that. Our camping properties are pretty well showered up.
But they got nice facilities.
Yeah. But you as a leader are done at the end of a week with all the challenges that come your way as a leader. And I think the better leaders are the ones that make that call of comfort and safety, obviously first, but who wants to be cold, wet, and miserable? Because that's what you're going to remember. And so I often err on the side of saying, you know what, let's pack up dry and end it on a high positive note. And we actually did that last year, but here's the other thing. While it feels like the right idea, I go back from our last summer when we did just that and getting home at 4 a.m. I will think 3 times over because I watched how some of my adults, I'm used to night driving and stuff. It's a 3.5 hour drive for us. And after a full day, some of my leaders that got a nap were good, but there were a couple that I'll be fine, but I don't know that we were actually practicing the best of safety decisions, but we were committed to it. And so we stopped frequently and dealt with the situation accordingly, but it's something that we're going to build on in the future of going, look, we got to look at the individuals that are doing the driving and what kind of risk and safety that puts our scouts into instead of just assuming I've done this before, I know what's going to happen and everybody else is going to be good with it. Well,
it's not just scouts, it's also scouters,
that's what I mean.
You have to think
because the kids can sleep anywhere in the car, right?
It seems that puppies and children can sleep just about anywhere.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And the infantry can sleep anywhere.
But so back to kind of wrapping it up and Relental's comment of winter camping is always at the mercy of safety concerns when we have ice storms or any kind of unusual weather.
It could be something transportation wise, like the gondolas that Matthew was trying to get onto. They could have shut those down because of weather. Could have been high winds or something.
Right.
So that would be an additional reason to kind of vacate camping for that moment for safety. So that's something you always have to consider.
Yeah.
As long as winter camping, you can do it. You just stay dry. That's the key.
Yeah.
You can stay dry. You'll be fine.
And that's the thing is that I understand where Bucky was going with that because there are people out there like, no, we're just going to muscle through it. And there is a time and a place for that. I did not feel that the shared suffering at that point was going to be of great value for these Cub Scouts. Yeah. Because there's times where it's like my son is saying like, oh man, it's like, it sucked to lift off all this stuff. I'm like, acknowledged. We're still doing it,
Right.
It's like I understand you're uncomfortable right now, but trust me, you're nowhere near quitting. This is just the first time that you have to do this. And as I say a lot, it's like we're just readjusting your baseline. It's like you trust me, you can shovel, you can keep going, you're fine. It's like, and that soreness you feel tomorrow is because you haven't used those muscles in that way ever before. So it's all perfectly natural. You're fine. You're not going to die.
I think that's all a part of our mentoring responsibility as scout leaders. Last Monday we had cold temperatures, and one of my scouts put into our communication, "Hey, are we canceling scouts tonight because of the cold weather?" And I've always been a leader that tells people at the beginning of the year, look, we live in Minnesota, we get cold and snow. We will be meeting. Don't assume 2 inches of snow is anything that's going to shut us down. Those of you that live more than 20 miles away from the unit, we use safety as your guide. But for this scout to put it out there, I get it. But the bigger response to me was, if we give in this time, what happens when we have a lesser but still abnormal thing? We start setting a pattern of not challenging ourselves. And challenge isn't the right word. Again, we live in Minnesota. It was cold. And one of my leaders actually responded wonderfully. And he put into the communications, well, the canceling of school is usually a practice because of busing. And scouts standing outside at a bus stop or walking to the bus stop or from the bus stop. You're riding in a car from one warm facility to another in 99.9% of the situation, So it seemed, I didn't want to say it was an invalid question, but it was, to me, a precedent setter. If we said, oh yeah, okay, it is cold. Nobody wants to go out in the cold, but life can't stop because of it. Dress accordingly. And if you do feel that it's a safety issue, then you have the right to choose not to come.
That's true.
Absolutely.
And so I always err on the side when camping, though I'm finding I'm more the type that says, oh, it's going to rain overnight and we really don't have anything that we have to be here for. Let's bug out and stay dry. But I try and play to the lowest denominator of common sense. And Matt, you summed it up right. Sometimes the kids just need, sorry, Buttercup, suck it up.
It's an opportunity. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's funny when you said bug out. We often called it the Cub Scout bug out at Camporees. Because it would always be drizzly rain for the entire day and night. And you'd see these pickups. They literally would just yank the tent right out of the ground and throw it in the back of the truck. Then there'd be 3 sleeping Cub Scouts in the back and one husband that's just gripping that wheel. Saying lots of non-scouting words. I mean, that was the Cub Scout bug out. That's what that was. And you'd see it go by real slow.
And I've seen that both years at scout camp that I've taken my son, because it's Friday night and I'm like, hey, there's nothing but grabbing a packet in the morning and a muffin. It's like we could pack up and we could all be on our beds tonight. And it is a 3-hour drive from the western side of Virginia, not West Virginia, but from Western Virginia, back here to close to the DMV. And both years, I'm really glad we made that decision. I didn't feel tired or anything. I'm more of a night owl anyway, but it was a good decision because the kids, as soon as they got home, they went right to their beds. They woke up. They got to take that deep cleaning shower. You got to take the deep cleaning shower, and everybody just seemed happy. They got to see Ma and all that. So I think that's beneficial. We've been talking a lot about winter camping, and for those of you who don't know,
camping's worse. Okay.
I lived in Las Vegas. I lived in Las Vegas for 3 years. So we're dealing with the desert and taking the Cub Scouts out camping. And the first camp out that I ever went with my son, this is for those new scouting leaders out there, because I had only ever been in a troop. So I made sure that everything was carryable in a pack for my son and I. I didn't realize that you could bring out a little wagon and drag your cots and stuff like that. So we had the 2-man tent, you know, because he's only like this big and everything. But it was like 100 during the day, and then at night it plummeted pretty low, and then the winds kicked up, and that tent was really earning its money to like not fall over. You know, that REI base camp too. So it like I'm also used to the heat as well, where you were talking about earlier, getting acclimated to the cold, and all of a sudden it's 30 degrees and you're like, man, this is short and sandals weather. Like I've been on the opposite end where I've been in 120 and then it's 92 and I'm like, I'm putting a long sleeve on, and that's not a joke. And it looks weird, and people are like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, man, bro, like it was just 127 the other day. Like seriously.
Right.
Yeah. In Florida, we have a situation where youth do not like clear water for some reason. It has to have sugar and coloring in it in order to be something they can drink. I've actually had situations where the kids would come to me and says, I can't stand flavor. I want flavor in the water. I gotta have it, you know. We make them drink water. In fact, we make all scouts walking around when it's 100 degrees. They got to walk around with a water bottle. They can have it on their side, they can have it in their backpack, but they have to have it with them. And because of dehydration, it doesn't take much. And I've had kids that have actually gone to summer camp and they want fizziness, sugar, and color in all of their liquids. So that's a problem. Water is the key to good health. And that's a big thing for them during the summer. So and that's a health thing. That becomes a safety issue. They have to understand that they need water. The water's coming out of everything, everywhere.
Even in the water. Even in the winter. And one of the things in winter camping that I think, if you're not aware of, is that you actually sweat out more in the winter than you do when you're dripping in sweat. You actually burn up more water. But hey,
being wet makes you cold. So there you go.
I have a clarifying question for each one of you. I'm going to start with Matt because his is the simplest. I've heard you use the term twice. And just in case somebody's not put it together, and I want to validate that I've put it together, you've used the term DMV.
Oh, sorry. DC, Maryland, Virginia. My apologies.
Okay. I'm sure
I thought he said DMZ. Isn't that the demilitarized zone? Or?
Not for many years, Stan.
And Stan, my clarifying question goes back to what we were talking about. And I think that patch thing, I'm kind of going back to the patch thing again, is a wonderful thing. I'm glad somebody reached out to you. Great venue to present that in. But there may be some viewers either in the room or watching later that don't even know what's the significance of the red vest in scouting.
In Cub Scouts, they wear that red vest. Matthew might have actually that for his young scout. I believe scouters don't actually wear the red vest. I think it's just the youth.
I'm feeding you guys. I kind of know some of it myself, but
okay. I'm not sure. But I think that's what the red vest. It's a vest, right?
Yeah,
it's not a vest. Jacket. Yeah. There's no arms or anything on it.
Correct. It's a vest, and you can buy it through the scout shop. And you can put patches on it that are not official for wear on your normal uniform, but you have like some of the patches I have back here. Like we did what's it called? I did a 1 mile fun run because I like to run and torture the kids. So for fitness, so like they get a patch like this, and this is a metal. So it's like we put beads on it so that they can get it, because we all believe in swag and everything. And like the pack number is right here underneath it. But like, so they could take this. You can't really wear this. I guess it's supposed to be like a temporary dangle patch. Yeah. But if they want to wear it on their uniform as they grow, you get one of those vests, and you can like have mom or dad or a cleaner or whatever sew it on, and then you just wear it on there. The thing that I don't like about the ones that are in the Scout shop itself is that they feel kind of flimsy, like when I saw them, because it uses a piece of like
felt,
like felt or string, like to put it together. So I just bought an Amazon one for my kids. And then it was cheap, so I got what I paid for, and it tore really easily, and I just haven't bought one yet. So
that's
but like
the extra large model right there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that right there is for your parents out there. You can buy one of those, and that's where you can put your popcorn sale, ones on. You could put your super achiever patch on. You could put, if you've been through like a bunch of different councils like I have from like Las Vegas and California, like you could put your little council shoulder patches on the back of it, and it you get it large so that way the scout can wear it during the Cub Scout years, and then if they want to have something when they get larger, when they are a teenager, something that they can leave at school, as Mike talked about, you can get like a normal jacket or something. I'm looking for something for myself because I have the red jacket that Stan talked about, and that thing is awesome, but I don't want to. I want to be very cautious because it's $80.
Yeah.
Like what I put on, like I'm gonna probably get another Philmont bowl for it, but the rest of the stuff I want to be very pissed.
The tail is touching the seam on the top. That means you went up to the time. So,
okay.
At Philmont. So
yeah,
I've been told.
So let's close on the red vest. I actually was
on the red vest, before we go too far, the troops are not excluded from that. They have a temporary pocket. They could use the little dangle thing, or they could actually sew them on there if they wanted to. But another place they could put them is on the back of the merit badge sash.
Yep.
Now, I would recommend putting things that like awards that you've earned, like first aid or
50-miler,
scuba diving,
Paul
50-miler.
Yep.
Those kinds of things. That's what you want to put on the back of the sash.
Yep.
That way, when you're up on stage receiving something as a youth, your back is turned to the audience. They get to see all those patches. They know you've done stuff, that you've actually achieved more than just a bunch of merit badges.
Right.
So it's a really cool thing.
Yeah. The red vest, to close that out, myself being a Cub master and having been one for quite some time, we don't do the patches as much anymore. We've moved away from it. Our kids, our families aren't into the patches per se, but we got to a point where we had a Legend of the Red Vest ceremony and presented the new scouts with their red vest for the patches. And we would give a patch out for every pack meeting and every special activity. There's Scout Sunday coming up. There's patches for that. Pinewood Derby, Blue and Gold Banquet, and flag ceremony and all that stuff. And so we actually made a board, those trifold boards, and put paper. We got a red one, but then put some blue stuff to make it look like the vest on the board. And we just pasted patches. That was our promotional thing, because
that's cool.
Those patches were eye catchers to the kids.
Yeah.
And they would come up and look. It was a great recruiting tool.
Exactly.
And every patch tells a story as well. But the two things I wanted to add is we had a parent that was a seamstress, and so she made the red vests, and they're made out of felt, so we were able to get a better quality felt than what you might be able to purchase elsewhere. And we had her make a number of extras, and we did one size, like Matt mentioned, make it large, let them grow into it, because it's a memento they will keep. But if they move on in scouting, the other thing I've seen real common for patch is a blanket.
Yes.
Yep.
Campfire blanket, campfire.
Yes. The only challenge with using it at a campfire, a real campfire, is kids get kind of careless with stuff, and fires are not fully contained, and little embers can pop out. And so if you're using it as a place to put patches rather than throwing them out, and it's not overly sentimental to you, great. Yeah. Use it at the campfire. But people use it as a way to collect the patches and keep them. And going to high school graduations, going to Eagle ceremonies, it's one of the big things that you see people hanging up, and it tells the story of scouting.
It does. So, just like the uniform tells the story, those patches tell the story too. It is it's tradition. Scouting is very traditional. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's been carried forward. And these opportunities, as I'm always saying, of learning through adversity, through weather or whatever happens, is really an opportunity. And that's the key. The scouts need to tell others about that, the things that they've succeeded in. It really builds confidence in a good way. It's not fake. So that's the wonderful thing about it.
Yeah. And what Bucky was talking about is like saying that his pack and unit aren't into patches or kind of moving it away. It's like my unit, the pack that I'm in right now, they are very much into patches and swag and all the different things. We have a neckerchief slide for like every event that we host, because we want it to be special for those scouts that do show up to that event. And my committee chair, who is also my roundtable commissioner for Cub Scouts, she always says that she will live and die on the hill of swag and FOMO, fear of missing out, because the scouts will look at each other and go, "Hey, hold on a second. Where did you get that patch from there?" It's like, "Oh, I went to the flag retirement ceremony, and I got this special thing because it's one of the grommets that was in the flags that we retired, and we pulled it out of the fire." Or she makes cool things like this, like the mini hats society, because like we all wear different hats. So she's got these custom things that are numbered. There you go. That are numbered, and like. So there's tons of things that you can do that add that little bit of what they call at the University of Scouting, like pizzazz, that little bit of extra stuff that you could put in there. Because the kids, every one of them crossing the finish line, getting a patch like this, like an actual medal, like there's still kids that are wearing this today, or they have 6 or 7, of their little neckerchief slides up from all the different events and everything. Yeah, especially for the like the Christmas. I wish I had one around here. Like I made thousands of woggles. So like we'll do red and green ones for Christmas. And if you show up, no matter if you are from our pack or not, like you show up, we'll give you one. So we just hand them out to all the scouts.
Is it the Turk's Head woven woggle?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Tangent. We need some music for this. Just a quick tangent. Okay, you got something like for a
tangent. Okay, sure, music.
So I can't remember where this came from. I know I didn't invent it, but I don't know where I got the idea. It's one of my favorite neckerchief activities with Cub Scouts. So Cub Scout leaders, take note. For Pinewood Derby, you take a clothespin, one that's got the little spring in it. Okay, that clips, break it apart, and you now have the profile of 2 Pinewood Derby cars. Okay, and what we do is we give the kids markers and tell them to design their neckerchief slide. And so we have PVC pipe that's cut for the slide, and they decorate their little car. We put black pony beads, glue them on there for the wheels, and then glue the thing onto a PVC pipe slide. Yeah. And that's what they get for the Pinewood Derby. It's simple, but it's an activity that's easy. Everybody can do it. You just need the traditional clothespins, some markers, hot glue, and some black pony beads.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That's very clever. You could actually, because when it's flipped over, the flat side would be the bottom.
Yeah.
And then the bumps and everything is the actual.
Yeah.
That is so clever.
Yeah.
That is really.
I'm sure it wasn't my idea, and it's been repeated time and time again.
Things out there. There's lots of them. There's the neckerchief slides are wonderful. The woggles that they have, neckerchiefs are universal. All scouts all over the world.
Hey, Stan,
thing. Yes.
Matt has something because he went off screen.
I know.
He's going to show us to see what he's going to show us here.
I don't have my recruiting bag with me.
Oh,
because it's out in the garage because I was using it.
I got my Eagle border review bag over there.
But you reminded me that about using things, because another one is 3D printing.
Yeah.
And if you have parents that are really into 3D printing and they want an excuse to try out new materials and such, you can ask them to do that. So this is what I was talking about, is that the parents can have and create stuff. Like we had a intergalactic, I think it was a rain gutter regatta. So they 3D printed little flying saucers. So there was ones that were for the youth, and then there was ones that were for the parents. And the parents' ones were the little gray one, but the kids got the shiny one.
Oh, wow.
Or one of the campouts that we did, we always try to incorporate some theme or lesson. And out here was the Civilian Conservation Corps. So somebody took their little 3D etcher and they made a neckerchief slide.
Nice.
That's for that. So the kids got to learn about the Conservation Corps, and we incorporated that about hey, here the trails that we're on were made by the CCC and all this stuff. Or if they came to the first camp out, little felts and things like that.
Neat
is one. But the other one that I was going to put on there was don't be afraid to put patches on backpacks. This is my other one from traveling around.
Yeah, there you go.
So don't be afraid to put those on there. So because I was I saw the bag sitting across the room, that's why I jumped up. I'm from being out in Las Vegas and all that. So
there you go.
You made me think of something. I was talking with a scouter recently, and they had a bit of a conspiracy theory. I don't know. With our council, in the fact that they were saying that they received a sticker for this event rather than the patch that normally would take place, and some of the politics behind it will be discussed here and such, because it's all perception and such. But I'm curious if you guys are seeing that. Is that kind of the movement now of moving to water bottle stickers in general, or are patches still strong? And again, we're just kind of weird up here in
patches are very strong.
Still king.
In the South, very strong. Okay. Patch collecting, patch trading, putting it on different things, backpacks, camp blankets, the back of the sash, the little vest. That's all still popular, and almost every camporee and every scouting activity, there's usually a patch somewhere. And Mark over in England calls them badges. So badges instead of patches. So that's it's big worldwide. Okay. Now the stickers, they cost almost as much as a patch.
Yeah, unless you get them donated.
On the volume.
Yeah.
So that's
I think that it's a good use of both. I've seen a good mixture of both. Every event that I've been to in scouting has had a patch, and I have seen stickers come out, and it's usually because of the water bottles or things like that. I got a bunch of stickers made with my logo on them because I'm going to a couple of different scouting events where I'll meet up with some other people. So like I got these made.
Saw those. I saw those. I don't know where I saw your post or something, but those look, I want some.
I want one. I got
a no, don't worry, you guys just need to check your mailbox once the mail starts flowing again here. So
there you go. Darn snow.
Yeah, those are very cool.
Yeah, so I got them, and they
were requests for roaming scouter patches to ScouterStan 1122 Boogie Avenue.
I'll put a link to his website.
Yeah, so they're like these were fairly inexpensive. I got the more bougie ones because I got them laminated because I wanted to see what they were. So this was like $99, and I got 150 of them. So they're close to. They're close to $1, a little bit less than that, like 50 cents, 75 cents. So like 75 cents a sticker. But for me, it's something that I can hand out to people because I did meet a young man who he was like, "Hey, sir, it's nice to see you again." I'm like, "I've never been here before." and I wanted to say to him, like, "Do you like YouTube?" but not be that guy. I wish I had these in at that point so I can so I could have gave it to him. But yeah, I think that putting stickers on water bottles is just another thing. And I think that we'll start to see that more. And I think that you'll start to see both the patch and the sticker because people like to put stickers on all sorts of things. I've got a whole this thing right here is just full of all sorts of stickers from my travels and everything. I even have a Bucky sticker in there, like there
you go,
like the actual gas station one and everything.
Bucky's gas station, Bucky. Poor man's never been to a Bucky.
Look at that, just like that. It's like I just got tons of stickers.
See. I'm giggling over here because I'm recalling an incident that happened back in my career days. We had logo stickers, and an entire roll of those was stolen from our booth at an event. And the hotel called us up and says, "You have to come to the front counter and meet up with us at the counter. It's an emergency." So we run over there. Somebody had taken the darn stickers and put them all over the elevators. All over. Man. We didn't do it. But they were so furious. The police were there. It was a mess. We had to go and scrape all that out. Somebody had taken those stickers. So with youth and stickers, you might have issues.
and that's
they might put stickers where you didn't think they should.
Right.
That's just human nature because like there's been plenty of places that I've been overseas and people will stick stickers everywhere, especially like on military installations or if anybody in here is a part of like the cybersecurity realm or anything like that, there's DEF CON and Black Hat, which are hacker conventions, is just what I'll call them for the novice. And those happen out in Las Vegas. And you'll go into the like the elevators and they've just stickers everywhere, hacker summer camp and like, all these different things everywhere. I'm like, then these are full grown adults. So it's like, I think that's just a human nature thing. And at least
with stickers, you do have to be a little, give them one, give them a roll or
right.
Yeah.
Right. I do like Rolanto's comment here.
Yes.
Is it a scouting event if there's no patch? Well,
no.
There's a good debate. It's kind of, I think
a lot
that's
of
more like a question of does pineapple belong on pizza or not?
No.
No.
Yes. We're not. Hey, listen, we say we weren't going to get political here.
No pineapple on my pizza.
Good point.
Thank you. That belongs to my drink, not on my pizza.
Absolutely. But in every scouting event, I mean, even if you're going to have a camp out for your Cub Scouts and different things like that, even the one that I did where it was just the AOLs, I went out last minute because the ones that I was going to have made weren't going to come in time. And I bought some cheap pins, like some campfire pins and snowflakes. And that's what I gave the Cub Scouts and the parents when they were done. So it's like with this camp out 2 weeks ago. So it's like you giving them something that they can have and say, hey, look at like you got this snowflake with the campfire in it because you guys are the only ones in the pack that went out and braved the 3 centimeters of snow out there. So it's like you guys earned it, and now they get to wear them at crossover and everything.
Wow.
So
that's like a badge of courage, That's
so Matt, I think
huge.
I every time we do one of these, I get to know you guys more and more, and I see the similarities in the creative process and such. I did a training within the last year. It's coming up on a year of ideas for Cub Scouting and such. The Dollar Tree, and no, I'm not getting endorsed by Dollar Tree, though. If they want to sponsor our show, I'm more than happy to have them do so. But Dollar Tree is my go-to for finding inspiration of creating that pizzazz. And the problem is, once you do pizzazz, doing that campfire snowflake pin again kind of takes away from the meaning of it the first time. So you're always having to reinvent, at least in my opinion, and staying fresh. But the Dollar Tree, you can come up with some pretty cool things, realizing that some of the stuff is just going to get trashed. It's going to be cherished for a period of time, but is likely going to not stand the test of time. And so I love using the Dollar Tree for finding things. And I love how you combine two different things that you would never think of putting together to really commemorate an event that was sitting around the campfire in the snow. And I know that our University of Scouting has a class. I don't know how it's evolved over the years because I actually never took it, but they talk about pizzazz for your Cub Scouts and such. And I think we could do a whole show on just those type of things and such. I'm sure it would be well received because I know
it doesn't just have to be Cub Scouts. It can carry over into a troop. It is possible. I mean, you have your first year emphasis patrol that's in there. And they're used to that. So that's something that can kind of come on. They're not crafty things. There's no Pinewood Derby, unfortunately, for a troop.
I feel for the Cub Scout leaders, being one myself, there's some times where it's like, I don't have any ideas to make it fun, to keep it light, and I think that's where, when we look at our Cub Scout leaders, many of them are just doing it because their kids in there and they're trying. They just need that Pinterest page that gives them 7 different options to do the same thing and whatever they can feel most comfortable doing. But finding that, you have to almost dig around to find that stuff. And I know there's books that have been put out by Scouting over the years for helps. There's monthly publications that they still put out, but there's so much that it's overwhelming. But I think we could do we could do one of our campfire chats on just different ideas because they want a go-to source for making it easy. And I can pop on ScouterStan, or I can pop on the Roaming Scouter, or I can, turn on the Bucky Marabad's music tunes and read some Cub Scout stuff. And I think we could put something together if we wanted to, if there was a demand for it. And,
we need to hear about it in the comments. Let's hear about it in the comments. The chat should stay with the video. There's some settings, and I made sure that they were done right. So hopefully the stuff on the side there, all the chat will be there too. But always best to put it in the comments. Put a thumbs up on it and a whole. It just helps the stuff that goes on behind the scenes at YouTube. So that's a great idea. And I think maybe next month we should do a show and tell. Like neckerchief slides or patches or my canteen, and look at the neat stickers I got, that kind of thing.
Definitely.
So let's go for a show and tell.
Okay, absolutely.
So
but if you can't, but for those out there who like can't wait till next month or something, or you're looking for something for your blue and gold coming up, I am one of the people that always says that like people get very. They feel certain ways about using AI, artificial intelligence, to like help with their scouting programs and stuff like that. And I'm a person that I say that this is a tool to help you out. Because like Bucky says, like you can get on there and you're like, man, I don't want to be creative. Just jump on to a Gemini, a Copilot, Chat GPT, whichever one. Like, I use Chat GPT pretty much for a lot of my research. With different topics and things like that. And I always make sure that I do a good job of seeing what it's pulling from, because sometimes it will make things up, but at least it can help with idea generation. So if you say, in 2 months, like, hey, Chat GPT, I am a scouting leader with a Cub Scout unit, and my kids are between the ages of 8 and 10 years old, and we are doing a camp out here in let's go with Prince William Forest, and I want to come up with a cool theme about it that fits into the area that they're in. I want to be able to incorporate compass reading and fire and all these kind of things, and maybe one or two adventures in the Cub Scout 2024 curriculum. Can you help me with that? And then I want to have some sort of patch at the end. And you can get something. It's that's
amazing
like,
what it will put out. I've seen those things. That's amazing.
It will pull up different themes. Like this one right here is one that I've done, because that's why it flows so well. Is because the Prince William Forest that's over here in Northern Virginia, where I live, is where they used to train the OSS. So that's the predecessors to the CIA. So there is a lot that you can do with that, with teaching kids about fingerprinting and cryptography and orienteering and different skills. And they have an orienteering course, like I said, that Scouts got lost on while we were out there, because they were, learning themselves, that you can go with, and you can get those different ideas, because now all of a sudden you have something that you can work with, and you're like, okay, I can incorporate that. We can say that this is a spy lesson, but I don't really want to write a script. Hey, can you write me a good mission brief for my scouts to be able to use? And you could just use it.
Mission Impossible. You can say that in this.
Exactly.
The AI thing. It's amazing what they can produce.
Yeah. And I put a video out about this, about using AI, because there were people who were like, I don't want to use AI for my scouting programs. I'm like, because it's just going to take away from it. I'm like, no. It's the same thing as doing Google. It's just that you're having a conversation. You're having somebody there who can help you with it. So guys, get out there, use that stuff. Because all of a sudden it's like, you can think about, like, it will link to Pinterest, like Bucky was talking about. It'll link to it and say, hey, look, this is what other people have done. And that gets yourself going. Like, because a lot of people think that the creatives, they can just sit there and everything pops to them. And that's a very, very small amount of people. A lot of creativity is based upon process. What it is that I want to do, what it is that I'm thinking about, what is the feeling that I want people to resonate with, and then you can work your way towards that. So don't be afraid to use AI. Don't be afraid to use Google and all that. And if you don't like it halfway through, as long as you're planning ahead of time, you got plenty of time to recover. So
yeah.
Well said. Well said.
This is a book that I have on the shelf, literally.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
it's on how to. Scouts. And they have things in here like how to turn a potato into a printer, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I like the light bulb one. Yeah, look at that
stuff. They just got tons of graphics and stuff, shows you how to build things, games, all kinds of ideas. And believe it or not, and I guarantee you, this is probably in the memory of an AI.
And
it just pulls it out of there.
Right. Well, and I, the only thing I can think of adding to what Matt said is have that conversation with AI. Be cautious. I mean, because if you put 100% faith into what you're getting back as being fact, you are going to get misled, because AI is logarithms. That's all it is, and it's doing its best. It's pretty darn impressive, but it still does make mistakes, and you need to be accountable for that.
Right.
But
you need to go through it and make sure that it's correct and that it's actually doable.
I will tell you, and believe it or not, I'm a very impassioned person, and the best thing that I've gotten out of AI is I already have a pretty good writing style and use of words and stuff, but sometimes I get a little too emotion based in it, and I want to tone that down. And I have found that AI has been a wonderful tool to help me rewrite what I'm trying to say in a softer tone or in a harder tone.
Yeah.
And what I like is I can say, okay, hey, I like this up to this point, but I'd really like to make sure that we're saying X, Y, Z.
Right.
I don't get that here, and it'll rewrite it. And it's always so positive. Oh, I get where you're coming from. Now I understand. Do you want me to make this softer? And it'll learn kind of.
It'll give you options. That's
and it will kind of it kind of figures out where you're trying to get to even before you realize where you're trying to get to with it.
Right.
And so having a conversation for what you're wanting to get to and saying, no, I don't like that. Okay. We can't use words like booger and fart.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Take that out. I appreciate, and you don't have to give rationale to AI like you would a person.
And you never have to say thank you at the end.
Right. And you don't have to clarify, unless it's pertinent to helping with the outcome. Right. And so it's a great tool. There's rumored, and I know the gal, somebody told me that in our council, she uses ChatGPT to create her Cub Scout meeting plans all the time. Now,
100%. Yeah.
Why not?
What does that
mean? It's a wonderful tool. I use it for the channel when I'm researching stuff. That is a godsend. It is
it cuts
months of research.
But with that being said, I want to be clear. I know from working with it that she doesn't just go, hey, I need to do a Cub Scout meeting tonight. What have you got? And it just spits it out. And you go, wow, that's exactly what I needed. You've got to give input to it. Yep. And because junk or lack of information in is junk out.
Right.
So practicing with it really will help you get strong results and can make your thing. And now what I'm learning is that there are certain ways of prompting some of these AI engines to get a different type of output that's more robust or more succinct to what you're trying to get to. And, so don't be afraid of it. Embrace it as a tool, not as a crutch.
100%. Yeah. Because my father, who is, he's one of those who is like, oh, AI is ridiculous. Like it's going to do all these bad things and all that. And I'm like, he's like, it's just making people more lazy. I'm like, yes, it can. Like it 100% can make certain people more lazy, but those people probably were already predisposed to that anyway. It's like, the way that I look at it is that you don't look at a person who drives a car as lazy. You look at them as being efficient. There's a tool out there that allows them to be able to get somewhere faster. Does that make them more lazy and less healthy? Yes, because they're not moving around. Does it make them more efficient to be able to accomplish more things? 100%. So that's the analogy that I use, because I use it a lot, especially for like the camp out that I did, like the posters for the kids. Like I could get in there, like level up a camp out. I said, hey, I'm doing a video. The kids wanted a video game one. Or hey, the menu, like they made their burgers square, so they were Minecraft burgers and pancakes and like all that other stuff. It's like it, and it so cool. when I showed that to like my son and I sent it to him and he sent it to his friends, that made them so much more excited because they're like, wow. And I'm like, hey, this is what you guys wanted, right? And I'm helping you get there. And that got them really riled up and get more invested, because we've hosted a lot of campouts. And there were kids scouts at this AOL campout that I've not seen at any other campout. Like the fact that they had an invested interest in this one and input, I think, is what made them skip the hockey game that week to be out there for it. Like actually go out there and spend the night out away from mom and dad. I think that was the extra little bit that added to it. So.
Yeah, I want to acknowledge Nostalgia and Chaos's comment, and I think it would be good to discuss, perhaps not tonight, but at another time. But I want to be respectful. The comment is, my problem with AI is if we're living by scouting values, the AI data centers are not good for the local environments. I understand
100%.
That's a narrative that's out there. I don't know enough to comment good or bad in support of that. I think I'd be willing to pursue that topic at another time. I think it's valid, but I would like to do a little research before partaking in any further discussion on that, because I think there's two sides to every story. I don't doubt that there's some downfalls to AI outside of some ethical issues and such. But I'm not quite ready or educated enough to say, AI is bad because it goes against our conservation values as scouts.
It's a trade-off. As with anything, with the advancement of a society, there is a trade-off. The way that we make windmills to be able to get renewable energy also affects the bird population, or having to put them out there. Or if we put out solar panels out in certain areas, like in California, they have like where they reflect the sun towards a giant boiler, so that way they can generate electricity. But every bird who flies in between, because it's a magnifying glass, that just get fried. So it's like there is always a downside. There's always a downside to technology. And like you, Bucky, I'm not super well versed on it. I just know that out here in Northern Virginia, there is a big push about how some of these data centers are like taking up resources, take up a lot of power. That's why Stan is saying, don't say please and thank you, because that's another computation. Right. That while for us it doesn't seem like a whole lot, if that's done tens of millions of times, it requires more power and data, and then there's cooling, so then there's water consumption, and there are environmental things. But it's just like it's just like anything. We are going to learn how to use this and eventually have to correct ourselves with it. But I think that there is more of it, what Nostalgia and Chaos is talking about, that I'm not privy to, but that's at least my perception on it.
We'll have to run an AI research on that.
But I think
it'll take months of data.
I think with anything, there's pros and cons to it, and I'm glad we're in agreement here that cautiousness is important, because I don't want to fly in my private jet to a
world conference,
conservation conference, and talk about the
saving the world
fossil
from me going in private.
So because it's a no-win situation, and it's but I think, Matt, you really kind of summed it up nice. And
I loved your analogy of a car. Cars have downsides too. Thousands of people every day die in car accidents. So there's terrible things that happen with cars, but like you said, it makes you more efficient. It's a tool, and that's the thing. It has to be used responsibly. Now, if the AI server farm is 100% renewable energy of some kind, say thermal energy, that would be great. That way it doesn't hurt the environment, and it's a great tool. That would be great. But these things take up a lot of energy. Yes,
they take up a ton of energy.
Cars take a lot of fuel every day. So the analogy of the car, I think, was the best way to think of it. It is a tool that needs to be used responsibly.
Or even the other analogy I use, because sometimes the car one flies over people's heads, or it just doesn't bite. And I'm very much a person that's where if you're not understanding what I'm saying, I'm not explaining it appropriately enough. So I always say, do you still use a Encyclopedia Britannica to look up information today?
Exactly.
No, I guarantee you.
No.
So I can see it
How
behind
many people
you, Bucky.
have a set that's current?
It's like It's like, so it's something that it makes our life easier because we all use whatever search engine that you rely on to be able to quickly look up information. And it takes a cognitive load off of you, and there's a conversation about whether or not that's good for, cognitive development. But it does help make our lives easier and helps us get to answers faster and be able to do things better. So that's the other one I use, is that like you don't use an encyclopedia or a dictionary anymore. You use your phone and the internet to look up what it is that you're wanting to find. So
great.
Well, on February 22nd, it will be Baden Powell's 169th birthday.
Tell me one of you has a sound bite for happy birthday.
No, I do not.
You guys really need to get your soundboards up to date.
I said I was going to get the soundboard working, but I didn't.
Yeah. All right. So do we
have the Bucky button?
Do we have to?
There we go. So
Confucius Day. Time to sing happy birthday.
Yes.
To Baden Powell.
Yes. 169th birthday.
Oh my.
Doesn't look a day over 160. It's amazing.
Nope.
That would be painful for the spanking machine. Right? That's like, what? Don't you remember as a kid that at your birthday party, you'd go through the spanking machine? Ooh. All your friends would stand.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Come on.
Are there any questions?
I think we need to wrap it up pretty soon here.
Hey, where did Mike come from?
Mike's been off for a while. So.
I feel like I just brought up Blazing Saddles or something.
You could never make.
I've been just sitting here letting the conversation go. I don't know.
It's out of control.
All right, fine. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Awesome. Well, this is Scout Month. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Good luck with your blue and golds and your crossovers. So it's a big memory for a lot of scouters and scouts. I remember mine. I'm sure you remember your own when you went through the process of crossing from Cub Scouts into a troop. It was very traumatic in ways. I was a coming of age kind of thing, and I'm learning that 18-year-olds punch hard. So it's one of those things, it's a big lesson, but it's something that makes you a better person, a better American in our country. And we need those opportunities to continue. That's the wonderful thing about scouting. And I believe we've got all of our questions answered. We're coming up on our 2-hour mark, so we can bail at this point. Bucky, do you have any last big pointers?
I'm going to shock everybody
about what you're bringing for show and tell.
Oh, something to bring for show and tell. You know what? I don't know. Nothing jumps to mind, but I am definitely excited to kind of dig through some of the old stuff.
Yeah. Scout appropriate, of course.
But of course. I don't have anything but, And to answer your bigger question, no, I've said all I need to say tonight. Doctor.
It'll get him in trouble. The crickets, please. I guess I'm not the only one who gets it.
Matt, I see your wheels churning there. You've got something that you want to say or do that you don't have at your fingertip.
No. Matthew, do you got anything you want to throw in there?
No. No. There was one thing. So I wanted to put this out. I'm going to put this out on my channel, and I'm going to also put it out here as well. But I'm going to be running a race in March, the Rock and Roll Half Marathon through Washington, D.C. And at least as of right now, I don't know how practical it's going to be, but I thought about running it in actually in my scout uniform to raise awareness for scouting and for the channel and all that. So awesome. I've reached out to some people to see if they'd be willing to help sponsor it, because the cost is pretty high. But I just was something that I've been thinking about doing. So if you happen to be running that race and you're a subscriber to this channel, or you watch the Campfire Chat, it's like, look for me out there, stop, take a photo. I'll be carrying some stickers with me to throw at people. So that's the only thing that I got, really.
Do you like seeing people with signs on the side of the road? Like,
oh yeah,
I want a roaming scouter sticker, or go scouting.
100%.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. Like, if I could get other people to wear their uniforms out at the show that we are out here in the community, I think that would be very, very beneficial. But yeah, 100%.
Well, big part of the word scout is out. We need to get scouts out there, visible. We're not behind the scenes anymore. We're gonna.
What's the name of the race again?
Do it.
It's the Rock and Roll Half Marathon in Washington, D.C. Rock and Roll is they do music on their courses and all that. And this will be the third year that I've ran it. And hold on a second, where is it at? I think I've got it over here. They give out cool medals and stuff like that. Like, this is my one from last year. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got I don't know, 16, 17 of these medals sitting over here. So a whole stack of them, because I just run multiple races throughout the year. So
sure,
that's my thing.
Very, very cool.
Well, I'll be there in spirit.
Absolutely.
All right, Mike, do you got anything?
Not really.
In the chat room, we're doing good. Awesome. So thank you so much. Look forward to season 14. We're in production. Let's put it that way. So we got the lights and everything going. So till then, be safe. Be with your scouts. Oh, we have a special
super
thing
chat.
there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Member for 30 months.
What a way to end the night.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for all your dedication to the channel, for watching our little campfire thing and watching us go off on tangents. we have fun. And I hope you have fun in scouting, and keep up that really good hard work, and make sure that I see you out on the trail. I have to hit more buttons.
It's like, I can't hold this longer, Stan.
Yeah.